Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident Tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, this week there may not be a whole lot of new stuff to be announced, as most of the stuff. As we go into week 2 of the CYBERKITTY collaboration has already been announced and teased. This week, however, a good chunk of what was announced last week at the beginning of the collab will officially be going live, as well as seeing one brand new face that a lot of anime fans from the old OG and controversial Season 3 of the anime will come to know and love. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this week's episode, CYBERKITTY Crossover Part 2. Starting with the gacha banners that were highlighted. You may already know these as very likely candidates get granted the skins that we were also announced last week, but those gacha banners on the docket this week are MGY0 Gato Alpar with a kit of Suction, Double Break, Biped Legs, and the Battle Stance leg ability, IDL03 Cheerful Bunny, the VTuber, with a kit of Hypercrept, CG Drain, Overcharge, Biped Legs, and the Mirage leg ability. And then last but not least, we also have KLN02 Meisai Moran with a kit of Melee Trap, Power Rifle, Gatling, Biped Legs, and the Clairvoyance leg ability. Now, in addition with these two, we do also have Black Kid and Me Army also sticking around for another week. So if you have not had the opportunity or the chance to get them just yet, don't fret, you still have plenty of time to do so. If anything, I would greatly encourage going after Black Kid and Me Army first, since they are the limited collaboration models, not just for event rewards and event bonuses, but also primarily for what they do offer as the truly limited models of the three, whereas these three here are primarily reruns of models that we have seen and aren't particularly going anywhere anytime soon. But nonetheless, all three of them still sport very good kits across the board, and definitely worth your time if you do choose to invest the rubies or the materials into raising or pulling for them. For the fierce battles that we have this week as well, as we mentioned, we do have a brand new model making his grand return into the modern titles. Anime fans will come to know this guy particularly well. It is TND0 Tank Dunk with a kit of Napalm, Missile, Gatling, Tank Legs, and the Bullet Rain leg ability. And in addition to him, we also have two other friends of his, also from the days of 1999, Medarot R, with GDR Gun Desperado with a kit of Rifle, Double Anti-Air, Biped Legs, and the Gunman leg ability. And then we also have SKD0 Sagodo with a kit of Beam, Double Hold, Biped Legs, and the Captor leg ability. Now, of the fierce battles we have this week, honestly, I would have to give MVP of the week to Sagodo, because I do feel he is the better rounded of the three, I suppose, since Hold has much more viability than, say, Anti-Air, of course, or even any of the scattered AoE or full AoE parts that Tank Dunk does possess. But for sake of collection, I would definitely recommend going after these three anyway. And if you have had the worst luck in the gacha banners in recent, this is absolutely your chance to pick up on someone so you can at least get one bonus going, as having one bonus is better than having none at all. Now, we are going to be getting the skins officially this week as well for Gato Alpar, Cheerful Bunny, and Meisai Moran this week with Part 2 of the collaboration event. There is currently no word exactly on how these skins will be made available, but my current theory is that two of them will be paid for in the convenience store, much like the Ultraman collaboration had them available on their own separate page, and then we'll have one skin very likely as an event reward that you can purchase. As I said, this is unconfirmed, so do not take this as law. Take this theory as more like a grain of salt than anything else until Thursday, of course, when the update does go live and unlock the second half of the event. Of the three skins we have here, I definitely am considering going after either Cheerful Bunny or Gato. I haven't quite figured out which yet, because honestly, both of them are very good skins, very nice skins in their own right, so haven't quite decided which way to go just as of yet. But in light of more news with the second half of the Kuro-chan collaboration, as I mentioned, the second half of that event will be going live. I'm sure you guys have noticed the blue bar at the top saying that the second half of the event will come on 3/10. This is a new thing that they started doing fairly recently, a few months ago, with the events trying to kind of force more engagement, interactivity, and farming with the event, so it's not a, go in and 3 days later you're done with the whole thing kind of situation, which honestly does make for better engagement and interactivity, as I mentioned. But this week, it will be highlighting Me Army as the +5 bonus for the blue machine gun ticket, whatever you want to call it. Of course, with Gato, Cheerful, and Meisai Maran being the +3 bonuses, and then of course the Fierce Battles for this week being the +1. In addition, we also have 3 Medarotters this week that give you a +2 bonus on top of whatever part bonuses you have. And just to go over it briefly with this event, it is ticket-based, so mixed parts are encouraged. Try not to use pure sets where possible so you can maximize your bonus payout at the end of each round upon victory. In addition to this, if you have not had a chance to farm for the event just yet or are just starting out, green ticket bonuses for the gacha banners and such will still be alive through this week as well for the tail end of the event if you need to work your way up, or if there's still some rewards for those you have not quite picked up just yet. Aside from all this, on the community front, we are still continually looking for translators for the Medarot 3 and the Medarot Reloaded projects, as there is a lot of Japanese and code that needs to be cleaned and organized. So if you do have any knowledge in Japanese coding or cleaning with some time on your hands, we are more than appreciative of any efforts that you'd be willing to provide and donate to help get these done. Because we have had lots and lots of requests and lots of questions on if we're going to start on Medarot 4 or Medarot 5 or Navi, and we absolutely want to. The issue, however, is we just don't have the amount of hands needed in order to do so. So once again, if you do have any knowledge in coding, cleaning, or Japanese and have some time on your hands on a rare day of the month, do feel free to stop on by and give us a chat. And we are more than happy to get you in touch with the right people on what needs to be done and what already has been finished up to this point. Progress has been going relatively decently, I suppose, for lack of better term, so it's not a totally dead project yet. With the manga, we do have the pages collected up to the recent chapter, but again, just no one to officially clean it or translate it, so we can make further progress on that. With the weekly art highlights, I have chosen to go after some of the ones highlighting the Kurdo-chan collaboration, with, of course, crossover art between the two of them. The first piece here by Amayu Pick, who chose to do one of Medarotter Arase, the main character, of course, of Medarot S, with CYBERKITTY Kurdo-chan himself. And then the second piece, of course, CYBERKITTY Kurdo-chan himself with a Medabi rendition by Umi Senko. I do apologize if I do pronounce those names incorrectly, in their own style, more akin to the original style of Kurdo-chan himself. So both very good pieces. If you want to see more Medarot art, definitely give these two a follow, as well as to add more fellow Medarotters to the community and your circles to keep more up to date on what's going on with the world of Medarot. But aside with all that, I believe that covers just about everything in this week's episode. Like I said, not a whole lot to cover that wasn't already touched on last week with the initial announcement of the collaboration. It's mostly just this week that we have the second half of stuff incoming that we have not had a chance to farm for or that has gone live yet. But with that being said, I do appreciate you guys for stopping by once again, just as you always have been through previous weeks, and I am greatly and forever appreciative of any efforts and any encouragement or support that you've given me through this time. As of right now, I'm sitting at about 220 or so subscribers, which honestly, I'll be completely real, I still am in shock I've even gotten this far with it, and I really could not have done it without any of you. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all the support you've given me and the encouragement you've given me, and all the feedback as well for things I could do better for my channel, and how I go about my recording process, or so on or so forth. So thank you so much for that. I would love to continually keep growing with this as I release more content and more breakdowns on stuff coming up, or more mechanics with my Row Battle Studies 101s. But if you do have any questions or feedback, definitely do let me know, and I'll see what I can do on making it happen. But if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on the Medarot News Network page or the Metabots Forever communities on Facebook. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below. If you'd like to keep a closer ear to the ground on anything related to the world of Medarot, whether that be with Medarot S or with any other game or translation or anything else to do, or even merch or model kits, that's definitely your #1 place to get it first and foremost. You can also follow me on Twitter at IsagamiKura, so if you have any questions, feedback, or comments, as I mentioned, don't hesitate to reach out to me. My DMs are always open. I'm a friendly guy, I promise, and I'd love to hear from you on things that you think I could do better, or things I should consider to add to my channel, as things to help make serving as a bridge between the JP and the EN communities a little easier on my part, as it's not just me in this case that's doing it, it's also everyone else on both sides giving me suggestions for this. So I am more than open to anything. Feel free to reach out and tell me what you think, and I'll see what I can do to make it happen, as I mentioned. Do also give these fine folks a follow as well. UC Sanchinash on Twitter, who also recently opened up a YouTube channel fairly decent amount of time ago. You may not know him at first glance, but he also was known for a lot of very boppin' Medarot remixes back in the day on the on Nico Nico Duga, which is rather difficult to get a hold of every once in a while, since it is a very, I don't want to say it's an exclusive YouTube variant over in Japan, but it is kind of hard to find Medarot remixes unless you know exactly what to look for. But he has actually put all his remixes on YouTube for full viewing, so definitely give him a follow and go give those a listen and give him your support, because those are some of the best covers I've heard in a long time that have been with me through the years that I've been a fellow Metarotter. Do also give Eruben, the ENV tuber, a follow as well, who fairly recently started their journey as a Metarotter, who's also streamed some of the older games like 2 Core and so on their channel. Definitely a great guy, definitely great person all around. Definitely give them a follow as well to add more Medarot to your feed and the wonderful stuff that they do add. But aside from all this, thanks again for stopping by, folks. It's always happy to have you in for a visit. Until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.